Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Cities Skylines 2. This is episode 19. Besides the ever-present complaint over high rent and not enough job seekers in the industrial sector, we're in good shape. We're in really good shape overall. The forest fires are all but taken care of. Last little bit of that, I think, is clearing up. We've got room for expansion now. We've got a lot of tiles available to us, and I already just picked up a bunch of extra tiles. So we've got some building space. We've got some high demand that's been there for a long time. We're going to go ahead and finally do something with that. One thing I really want to key in on, though, as we do this expansion is the fact that I need to add some farmland as we go along to maintain our high profit level. So before we build anything into our new area, I want to double check that we are actually in a situation where there's no farmland here, or I might squeeze some in just for the sake of avoiding problems. Oh yeah, there's two big farm areas. Okay, well, we're gonna incorporate the two big farm areas before we do anything else. Now this is grain that we're gonna need to do, and or vegetable. I think we're gonna do one of them as grain and one of them as vegetable. Looks like it's big enough to make two out of it. So every once in a while these farms glitch and then just don't appear. Okay, so I've got the first one fully enclosing all of the land, so we're covered there. Now it's just the road. I've got the road as far as here. We'll kind of wrap the road around the other way to bring it back in. But now that we're out here and we've got it used up and we've got highway, I might as well use farmland to kind of fill in the rest of this, just with the uh, with the type that's not going to require uh, arable land. That without the fertile land requirement, I think we'll be just fine. But let's go ahead and take care of the other one that we have. In the meantime, we'll get it set up. I've got to kind of figure out where I want the road connection to be on these, though. Okay, this one's outside the scope, so it's pretty okay. It's the other one that's going to be a little bit of a problem. We'll have to work our way around it. Okay, and the second set of farms covers all but just a tiny little bit here where we get to the extent of the circles for the pair of them, but it's really just a little ounce of it. But we've got it fully covered otherwise. Now it's a matter of connecting it up and filling in other farms. So this is going to be one very large farm area. Uh, we're going to get some commercial in here, some off the freeway kind of stuff, but we're going to very quickly then translate that into a much smaller road.
Thank you, Professor. It is a question of
priority. And I think we're gonna maybe go like
somewhere
this.
in the city.
I think we're going to get a little bit of residential down here. Just some rural, low-density residential down to the end, but then the rest of that's, the interior part's going to be all just farmland. So I'm getting the first little bit filled in here, at least zoning-wise. We've got the first road connection, so these farms are up and running. We still need to get this one. We will fill this one in soon enough, but there's going to be at least 1 or 2 more road connections going further back. Maybe one going this way. But if I'm going to get a second farm in back here, I think we're going to need a little bit more. The livestock farming doesn't have requirements. We can get a pretty good sized farm back here. But yes, that's a ways back, right? So we're going to have some road to it. I think the best thing is going to be to put the road just behind this, so that way the farm's, you know, on the other side, and then we can connect it up down here and stick another farm where we need it to be to cover the second zone. That's going to be the plan. That's the plan. So two livestock farms have filled out that first area, so that one's nice and complete right up to the freeway. One tiny little triangle pocket right by the freeway there is all that we couldn't fit in with that, but we're also at the same time getting some more of the much needed commercial. This is also going to help keep traffic with this ramp be not too heavy. Our traffic jam that we had here is all cleared up. I think the traffic jam that we did have here was much more about just vehicles, XYZ puzzle pieces not fitting together and trapping one another simultaneously and just messing the whole thing up. But you can see the buildings are starting to come in. I've got a little bit of high density commercial, and then the rest is going to be low density commercial before you get into then residential further down the line. Now, right off that road, we could definitely put in more, but I think if we do the same sort of thing, if we put in just kind of a small gravel road back here, we could get our next couple of farms in here, see how far they kind of stretch along, and then kind of use this as the main farm route back into the area, and not necessarily even have. I think we'll still need one more through here that can maybe triangulate. Anyway, okay, continuing on. Let's get some farms. Farms are good for money. Money's good. We have a lot of it right now. Approaching 130 million, but still good. Doesn't mean we want to stop making money, and it doesn't mean that we want to suddenly find ourselves not having money because we didn't take care of the necessary raising of funds along the way. Okay, that should definitely get us a couple more farms along the area. Let's, again, with the livestock, because that's what this area has. I have not looked to see if there's ore or anything out here. Is there ore? Or oil? Ooh, we have oil right here. Okay. I guess good thing I caught that. I guess one to just catch what we could catch. I decided to throw the latest farm down here just onto the main road itself. That does mean, though, we'll have to run a road to get at least into this pocket as we continue our farmland. But so far, so good here with this approach. We're going to get a lot of farmland in. We're getting a little bit of residential. We've got radio mass. I've got one park to cover the area. We're not going to worry as much about other services, but we've got at least some of the services covered for this rural region. I'm going to go ahead and fill in the last of this low density residential, though. We're going to save this little forested area just for the sake of it. Gotta have some trees, gotta breathe, right? And no, you don't need a breathe right strip, you just need to breathe. Okay, we can cover a really good range right about here. We need to spin it around, though. One farm just about covers this whole zone. So we're going to put that right there. Alright, there's our next one, filling in that big pocket in the middle. Now we can start heading the other direction. One of the first things I want to do, though, is I want to upgrade our gravel road right here to an alley, as it will have a little bit of traffic to it. So let's upgrade, and we will upgrade along here. I'll fill them out here in just a second, but we have a little zigzag here to get 2 more farms to cover this area and this area back here. One additional to make sure we're getting all along the freeway through this area. Also, finally linking up the road so these farms are finally powered and should start employing people here pretty soon. And we're nearly done with it. I think we're going to need to get at least one more back there and maybe one more just on this side of the road here to cover this area. But yeah, one road back there should just about do it. We're maybe 2 more farms away from having the whole area be one giant farming zone. There's the 3 now completed. It's been a little awkward with this. The road does bend, the freeway does bend, and so as a result, that gentle curve along there is making it hard to snap to, but we got it. It's okay. And that is one farming community now complete. I see just a couple small empty pockets throughout, but otherwise that thing is nice and filled in. I think I'm going to get a bit more traffic through there than I planned on, just with how the simple fact that I really just made one spiderwebbing road through it and not, as I initially predicted I would do, making 2 to 3 separate roads. Just the one is going to put all that traffic burden onto a single intersection, single road. At least I upgraded that road to something paved, to an alley, but yeah, I think that is going to be slightly problematic, but I don't think it's going to be bad. It really should just be the semis in and out hauling goods, but that's a lot of new farmland for us. I think that's going to be incredibly beneficial to maintaining a strong profit range. And overall, that one road aside, overall traffic should be pretty light through this area. We are somehow covered with fire. Police is not. So we might want to add in one small police station here, and that'll cover the whole area. And there you go. There's basic services being met, not transportation wise, but Parks and Rec, communications, pretty much everything but education. Small enough area where they might not have elementary, but if they move there a little bit later in life, you could still travel to the high school and to the college and whatnot. It's just elementary that's left out, but it's too small of a population to worry about them getting an elementary education. Also, becomes very important to have some uneducated people in an economy, because the economy has varying job levels, job sectors. Industrial, for example, is for uneducated. So to have an industrial sector, which we have, and you can see how badly there's a lack of labor, having a neighborhood without an elementary means there's going to be a neighborhood of kids raising up and becoming that labor source. Okay, well, there's one big addition right there along the river. That is definitely our largest farming area as of now. And for once, our low residential demand is not maxed out. Our commercial is very high in terms of demand right now, though. I'm seeing a couple of traffic jams. I'm going to investigate those, try to deal with that before we go on another rampage in terms of zoning. We, of course, have this huge pocket available to us here, and I don't necessarily need to make it into more lumber. I think we can afford to fill in some neighborhoods into that area, but I am seeing a couple traffic jams popping up, definitely more than just the 2 that we had. So let's see what we've got. 2 here in Geriatric Town. That's just a traffic accident, not a traffic jam. But we do have a traffic jam here. Oof, yes, we do. This has got to be related to the ramp. I mean, it's not that it's not moving at all, but this is pretty much the original road that we put in. And it's definitely a ways back. I think something we could squeeze in here would be at least a ramp for going this direction. Bet you that would be pretty easy to do. That'll alleviate some of the traffic we're having, for sure. We're going to give that time, see if that helps. That's the only traffic jam we have in this neighborhood. And our traffic jam here persists. There's no traffic at all. There's one motorcycle coming through. It's just the fight to be in a specific lane that goes a specific direction is taking so long to sort out that we're actually worse having 3 lanes than we are having 1, because of the way that it's flowing through here. It's not letting enough lanes go through. 1 goes to the right. I should do Let me see if I can change the... No, it's still... See, it's only showing a single lane going forward. If we can at least get 2 lanes going straight, this would clear out so much faster. But they're all fighting to be in that left-hand lane. And then it's not allowing the traffic to flow. Now, we'll build that up bigger and the same damn thing. It's not flowing any faster, it's just there's not much traffic coming the other way, but it's just this constant struggle. Okay, what if I take away the crosswalk here, force them to go the opposite side? That's yeah, it's just this struggle to get into the left-hand lane that is creating this huge bottleneck that's totally unnecessary, right? 2 lanes going this way, and okay, fine, 1 lane has to merge down, right? Send 1 lane to the right or something, but it's wide enough for 3, so why won't it let me have the 3? I've now got a very large roundabout here, and yet we still have this stupid traffic jam that makes no sense, and it won't let me adjust the lanes. But in terms of how backed up it is, you know, it's only to here. It is moving. It's just annoying that we've done something to help with the traffic, and yet it's pretty much done anything but fix the problem. And really through no fault of our own, just that it doesn't want to clear up. Okay, another small traffic jam there, but nothing bad. Ooh, you guys are sneaking into that parking lot from the side. Traffic's not bad through here. This is again a foot traffic issue as much as anything. This has really helped alleviate a lot of the traffic that was here though. Remember last time we built an extra off-ramp, went underneath, and brought it out right here to get onto the road, and almost all that traffic is using that to come out right here and then just go right on to our big experimental 4-lane one-way with a lot of high density or medium density stuff alongside it. We still have some open pockets here. Speaking of open pockets, let's throw in... Yeah, see, here's what's silly. We got a 4-lane, we've got this big old roadway, and 3 lanes turn left. 3 lanes turn left, 1 goes straight. Why can't that other intersection figure that out? It's a large roundabout. It does what it needs to do. And like this one has 2 lanes going right, 2 lanes, 3 lanes going, all 4 lanes actually going straight. It's fall. We're getting a lot of rain here. Most of the traffic's moving along nicely, though. Most of it. We really just have that 2 jams now. There's another over here, I think. Not quite. A bit. Got just the 1 lane that's coming through straight. It looks like most of the traffic wants to go straight, actually, so... This could be one of those rework the intersection type things. What you waiting for, dump truck? Can't decide which way he wants to go. We haven't seen it showing up, but demand for office rent has been, or office space, has been coming up from time to time because our little Manhattan area is filling out large office buildings from time to time. But every time it does pop up a little bit, a new building is built. It's already just zoned early. Back to checking in on our not traffic jam, supposedly, but it certainly looks like it's fairly well jammed up. Really not so bad. It's the buses. It's the buses through here that's a bit of an issue. We've moved quite a bit of the traffic over to the subway, and that's definitely helping, but there's just so many buses through here. One thing I could do, as it pops up the traffic jam icon, one thing I could do here that I haven't done at this point is, and thank you comment section, I'm not sure who made the mention, but divert some of the routes over to our other bus station. Could be a good way to alleviate some of that. Some of that traffic would then not want to be there. The buses, there'd be fewer buses coming in and out. There'd be fewer people in and out. There'd be fewer cars in and out, and that could fix the traffic in that area. That's the bus depot. There's the other bus station. Right, we only have what, 3 routes here right now. So this one is doing just fine. Do we want a parking fee? Let's go ahead and add a parking fee here. And I've already got this one built to handle more routes, and yet right now we're not. And this is definitely a bigger zone now. Expanding the subway is another good option on something to do in the near future. Oh boy, found another jam. This is really packed up here. Okay, this is definitely a matter of expansion. So let's make it a very large roundabout. And then let's take the roads entering this. Alright, so I've done some road expansion across the area, 3 sides anyway. The 4th one with the hospital, unless I move some things, I'm not going to be able to expand that road, but I've at least expanded the rest of this to 6 lane. That should help the traffic flow a little bit easier through here. We'll see if it actually does. Give that some time to try to sort itself out. Well, folks, that is some progress. Obviously, the big project today was the new farming zone, taking this section beyond the freeway there and filling it out completely, mostly with farmland this time, which will help ensure the finances long term so that we are not importing as much food. We helped a little bit with residential. We helped a little bit with traffic. But we do have some traffic jams. We still have some things to resolve. I think the subway plan is still a good one. It's only just started. There is still a good 3 to 4 lines and stops to put in to expand our subway network. And speaking of, how are we doing in terms of transportation at the moment? We're looking at 36,000 people using the bus, and it just feels a little too crowded. But the subway is already at 17,000. Moves people a lot easier with less traffic implications. So I think converting, that's 2 lines versus 13. No tourists right now, but never mind that part. We need to deal with our own populace. And at 61,000 a month versus 91,000 people being here, that's a lot of people using public transportation, especially when it's not coming from outside. It's happening internally. Our whole new area right now has nothing for public transportation, so that's one thing to keep in mind, is we are going to need to add a line to that at some stage. There's a lot of taxi service I can see going on in that new area and the industrial area, 2 areas that just don't have public transportation for the most part. But that is also typical, as an industrial complex is rather large and doesn't employ that many people, so usually the traffic isn't as bad through that kind of area as opposed to a medium or high density residential zone that has tons of people living within one building, a lot more than what you would have at an industrial complex. That's going to do it for this episode, though, Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.